So Mark Brown really set the scene in terms of our blended learning project, and what we've tried to do as part of this project is do open innovation through collaboration with LTU, ITS, and the teachers at PAVE. So we've taken an approach where we co-design and co-create a lot of the elements that you would see today. Ooh, where's the clicker? So just a bit of a background about the project. So PAVE has a strong tradition of adopting emerging technologies to improve student experience, but they've taken a decentralised approach because each department is unique in the way that they deliver. And we've also got the complexity that we are delivering across 3 separate campuses. But the PAVE strategic plan has an aspirational goal to ensure 100% of PAVE courses has a blended approach. Currently, each centre and department may have a different blend and a different way of using blended learning and Blackboards. So we're trying to create some efficiencies around that as well. So one of the challenges that we face at PAVE is applying a consistent approach to the whole of PAVE. So why would this be important? We want to drive learner analytics with LTU, and we also want to establish a benchmark and a shared common knowledge as well, so that we can drive personalisation for students and learner analytics. So, how are we doing this? We've got the challenge, and Pauline Farrell, who is my director, has taken this challenge to the heads of department, team leaders, and across PAVE, and also working in conjunction with LTU, to ask them to find, a solution to this. So, how can we have a standardised web shell? So, we've been exploring existing web shells across all of PAVE, and we've asked them to come up with designs and research as to what they think works best for their individual departments, and see if we can do a gap analysis and co-design something that would work across all of PAVE. We've also taken on board student feedback as to what works for them, what doesn't work, and to communicate our new design, our new concepts, and to test it out. We've been creating mock-ups and presenting that to team leaders to ask them for their feedback, and also how they see it working in their departments. We've also created these mock-ups to communicate with LTU, and they provide us with feedback on what difficulties teachers have faced in using existing technology. And we've also involved ITS and Paul Williams' team. So that's the approach that we took to overcoming some of our challenges. And I'll move on to the solution that the team came up with, and what PAVE decided was what was important to them to driving change and innovation. So the solution is a standardised web shell, which would include dashboards, learner analytics, and assessment templates. And part of this is that we'll go through each of these in greater detail, and how we're trying to find a simple and effective way of delivering this across all of PAVE. So within a Blackboard web shell, or within Blackboard environments, we're aiming to develop a basic dashboards that focuses on the active components of the learning, and how to design that. And this project will aim to deliver the following solutions: a consistent navigation model that helps students quickly become accustomed to the course, regardless of the qualifications that they're studying at. So this is really important because students will move from maybe one qualifications to the next. And what we're trying to achieve is that when they move to the next qualification level, they don't have to relearn the navigation structure, and they don't have to relearn where things are in Blackboard. So we're trying to create efficiencies at the student level as well as the teacher level. So when we get teachers in from sessional teachers and they're given a Blackboard shell, it doesn't matter which unit that they're studying, there would be the same mental navigation structure, and they can just go in and teach and focus on the teaching. So these web shells aim to, I guess, provide efficiencies and let teachers focus on what's important to them. So part of this project is to set a minimum benchmark of what we consider as a minimum blended learning approach. We understand that each department would have something different, and part of that minimum is measuring, first engagement and all assessment tasks on the web shells. Currently, all assessment tasks across PAVE are in Blackboard, but we would like to set that as a benchmark and move forward from there. And this will help us collect data for learner analytics, as well as help us establish what we want to measure on our student dashboards. And when we have this program designed, what it will help is that we will be able to have a framework that is ready to go for professional development. Oops. Okay. As part of the learner dashboards, what we mean in terms of learner dashboards for the whole of PAVE is actually a place where students can check their progress. It's about them seeing how far they've progressed, how much time they still need to invest in it. And we are working in collaboration with LTU and Blackboard, ITS, Blackboard the company, and the ITS Blackboard group to find a solution on how we can deliver and embed dashboards within Blackboard. So this is a dashboard that Blackboard has introduced to us, and we've been exploring that. So if you can see on the left-hand side is actually quite simple what we're trying to achieve. There's just a simple progress bar, and whether it's colour-coded, so are they on time, are they on track, and how far are they in terms of each individual unit. So our aspiration is to have this course progress bar for a whole course, but currently the dashboard's only at a unit level. But we're still in the testing phase of this, and there are several challenges that we've come across. And some of these is that this requires the new updated version of Blackboard, which will be rolled out in February. So we're still in testing. Another challenge that we would have is that it requires administration access to create some of these goals for students and progress bars for students. And I'm not sure if Paul Williams will allow us to have administration access at a team level. So that is a definite challenge. And also for teachers themselves, they would have to manually create these goals, come to us and have us upload them into Blackboard. So it's been a really interesting process that we've gone through. What we would like to achieve and would like to explore is that when a teacher builds their course and builds active engagement activities, that these dashboards or progress bars are actually built automatically. That would be our goal and that would be our dream, and that's what we're still exploring on. But I think at the bare minimum, having the progress bar, just letting students know where they're at is quite a big step for us. So we're taking tiny steps as we move along. Okay, learner analytics. So before we go too far into this, the Dashboards and Learner Analytics projects has really made us think about how we're designing our courses in PAVE. and how we can compare data. So our blended learning approach is beyond just online space or students working from home and a face-to-face session. So a lot of the trades, nursing and community services, their students actually do their learning in an actual workplace. So how do we extend that blend to work integrated learning? And how are we, I guess, measuring that learning, their use of data and the learner analytics? So we are quite clear in PAVE that each course and each department will have different measures based on the approach that they're taking, because we're quite mindful that if a student is going out and working, that they might not be interacting as much with the web shell, where we're measuring their engagement. So we are designing different methodologies and different learning designs approach to this. And this is one example for the learner analytics that we've chosen. And in PAVE, what we hope to do is get students to become self-directed learners. So we have chosen this is the student view for the learner analytics, where they can measure and get information on how much they've engaged with a particular course, their interactions within a course, and what they call submissions, but it's actually their active learning, and how much they've accessed the actual course. So we are mindful, and I think there needs to be some guidance around how students would interpret some of these data as well as how teachers interpret this data, as well as course designers. Because there isn't a one mould that would fit all.
Hi everyone, I'm Meaghan. There's probably a few teachers here. Got a show of hands. Got a few teachers. Yeah. Okay. So I've been a sessional teacher here for a few years. And one of the frustrating things for me, and I'd like you to show a hand, is when you go into a Blackboard unit, what do you find things? Did you find it hard to find things within a unit? Like things that I've found problems with is that things are sort of pretty much put in different places. Things are old. Some items I find go back to 2007. So even if we're having problems trying to find things, especially if we're picking up another teacher's unit and trying to teach for it, it can make the life of the student even more difficult. Oh. Sorry, wrong way. Okay. So this is one of the reasons we developed a navigation template to stop this frustration for both students and teachers. For the past year, we have been strategically upgrading the template to suit all users and make it more user-friendly for everybody. So for example, this template is really simplified. We've got all the weeks on the left-hand side, and we've got webinars. We're starting to incorporate more the collaborate session within our teaching to align with more blended learning. And it's basically a lot more simplified. Now this is part of the Platts team. We have more management where we've worked on with all of PAVE to come up with, they've all worked on this to come up with a simplified template that we can develop across the whole of the TAFE sector. This is a draft look at what it's going to look like. The blue will change. We're still working on this, but we've got a graphic designer and multimedia person working on the look of this. This is in line with, some of you may have seen the Teaching Learning Academy or Student Induction website, where we've really upgraded the look and the feel of the Blackboard templates, which is not usually standard. The part of this blended learning project too is that it's been really exciting that we've also now started to develop assessment templates. from the Platts meetings and management and teachers, everybody involved, we've come up with actually a group of assessments that we commonly use. So we're using these, and we're going to develop these across, so it's all standardised. So it's especially for a new teacher that's coming in, it doesn't know how to set up an assessment for a report, etc. We've got these templates ready for them to go. So, for example, role plays, if a teacher's never done a role play before, the template will give them an example of what to do. The same with research reports. I teach research, but I also teach advanced Word techniques. So I actually teach within Word how to set up a report with a cover page, how to do an automated table of contents, etc. So that's really handy to teach all teachers how to use those programs. So an example of one of the assessment templates is the report that I was just talking about. So on the right-hand side, it actually gives you information on report examples, report templates. So teachers and students can actually download a report template, because often students, when they start to type up a report, they don't know where to start, whether to start at the end to write up a documentation, but at least they've got the cover page, table of contents, a conclusion, etc., already set out for, and then they start working on their actual assignment. This is an example of a practical assessment. Some trade areas, some other teachers might teach more demonstration type materials. So, for example, on the right-hand side, students who have to demonstrate a plumbing exam or some electrical, I'm talking about trades here, but they might, even with me when I teach Word, students have to demonstrate to me how they do the function. Also, I make a presentation, so therefore, instead of doing formal face-to-face, we might do an online version. So students can then upload the videos, as you can see on the right-hand side there. We also teach them how to actually save it to YouTube and things like that. Going on to rubrics, because PAVE is competency-based first, we actually set up a rubric that details that when you assess a student, that you must assess them as a competency-based first before you go on to do a rubric which offers them a grade. Within my particular department, usually the Cert 4 does competency-based only, and then diploma, they'll go on and do marks. So this is a great illustration that Rita has made. It actually explains our version of blended learning. So these up the top there, you'll see blended learning projects. We've got the dashboards, the learning analytics, the web shells, and the assessment templates. That's what we're working on with TAVE. So on the right-hand side, we're actually piling it out and developing out to 20 courses. And we've got a great team there with Colleen and a team developing that. And we also offer professional development and teacher education training to help staff learn all these tools. So it's been a great and exciting project to work on, because we've been able to take it up a step as far as digital technology and creating an environment that we're all the same, we're all validated, we all share resources. We've got some actually excellent examples of videos from Cameron Gleeson, who's here, and we actually put them online. So we're sharing our resources and we're showing expertise so other teachers can learn from it. So thank you for your time. We appreciate any feedback, and especially the PAVE teachers here. We'd love you to join and it gives you feedback from any of the courses we might offer. Any questions? Rita might want to come up too.
I can give them a round of applause. Rita and Meaghan, we've got 5 minutes for questions now. Thank you for a thought-provoking presentation. I love that. Mark talked about the specificity of Swinburne as a sort of new and young university. I think one of the other really specific flavours of Swinburne is we're a dual sector university, and there's some really, specific needs and goals around blending in a competency-based environment that's very important, and we don't talk about it enough. So, time for a couple of questions. Who's up first? Pauline.
I just saw that there's probably some real room there for holistic assessment design.
Definitely.
have you sort of built holistic assessment, learning and design into this, especially that part where they could see where they're sitting, the green and the red and the traffic light system?
At current, I believe that a number of our teachers do build in holistic assessments, even possibly clustering some units together that would deliver like a project-based assessment which holistically assesses a number of different skill sets, knowledge, and embed it in a work-related environment. So that is something that we are definitely exploring, and also trying to explore, I guess, e-portfolios. How do we collect this evidence? Is it a work diary? Do we send them out with a mobile device? That is definitely in our consideration, and we're exploring that further.
Is it possible to access your system and try to apply it in your own area? How would it work?
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering what area you're from?
Electronics and communications.
Oh, yeah. We're happy to share with you whatever we have developed and our learnings as well. So we're most happy to hand over and work collaboratively. Yeah, and we'll welcome your feedback as well. Yeah, most definitely. But I'd just like to let you know that we did work closely with LTU, and they have a strong expertise within Blackboards, and they're also a really good source of knowledge as well to help you and to customise it to your area.
Thank you for that acknowledgement of the work we do too. One of the things I love about this forum is that we have so much opportunity for sharing and collaboration, and I think you've modelled that so nicely in your project. We've still got time for one more question.
Just a little bit curious to know, do you know anything about how students are responding to this analytics that they can view, or the dashboards they can view, and does it actually lead to any change in behaviours or their learning? Or anything about student responses on the type of the data that they can view about themselves?
So this is still in a pilot stage, and we're still conducting that. So I guess LT and Glenn Bates' area, who's running the learner analytics, will be able to capture that. So I don't have that data at this point of time. Okay, sorry.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Can we just give one further round of applause to our speakers? Thank you so much.
Thanks.